You are listening to NDPR. Hello! You guys made it to another episode. That makes you an official Nancy nerd. That's what we used to call our fans back when Nancy Plays Nurse was still a band. So, yeah, welcome back, Nancy nerds. You frickin' nerds. This is Nancy's Dead Public Radio. So, episode 2. Let's get it going. This one's going to be kind of difficult to do just because, at least with the first episode, I had like a full-blown layout as far as, okay, just introduce myself and that kind of shit. So it's going to be a little bit more of that, but also wrote some notes down and try to touch on some things that I didn't mention in the first episode. So, yeah. I want to give a shout out to my very, very good friend, Laycie Corley. She gave me a pretty good review for the first episode and said I didn't seem like I did not know what I was doing. So that's pretty cool. And she was a little upset with me because I kind of skipped over a project called the Iredale at Fort Clatsop. And understandably so, that she should be upset. She was living with Michael and I at the time, and so she got to hear us recording and hear us writing the songs, and took some promotional shots, if you will, for our Christmas EP and stuff. So I guess we'll start there. So this is after Nancy Plays Nurse had definitely like faded out, and Michael was living with me, who I had originally started Nancy Plays Nurse with, and we were listening to a lot of we've always listened to the Shins a lot, and Iron and Wine, and Jose Gonzalez was starting to hit my headphones quite a bit, and some electronic stuff like the French band Air. If you haven't heard them, they're fantastic, and you probably have heard them and just didn't know you had. They did the soundtrack for Virgin Suicides, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack. So I started getting into them, and we started this project that was with folk music in mind. That was our main focus, was, keeping the electronic stuff to a minimum, not letting it take over, keeping the acoustic thing going. And so, yeah, we did something that I don't think a lot of people have ever done. We didn't really have any originals yet, so we were kind of stuck thinking, okay, we've got this idea, but we were also kind of facing some writer's block lyrically, and running out of our old riffs. Were tired and kind of dull at that point, which tends to happen. So we decided to start with a Christmas EP, which was very strange. For a band to start with a holiday record is not really normal. But he and I are total Christmas freaks, and we gave it a shot. And it's messy. It's kind of a shit show, but it's cool. It's definitely something that helped me progress, especially recording wise. Michael had an iPad at the time and I didn't. So it was good to learn how to navigate on an iPad. And so, yeah, we just recorded that. It's 5 tracks, and it's still up on SoundCloud. You can search it. The Iredale, it's shortened down. We got the name the Iredale at Fort Clatsop from a shipwreck that's up in it's like around Seaside, Astoria area, and just really stood out. Very interesting backstory to it, and we love nautical stuff, so that was our name. And yeah, you can find it on there. But yeah, so we hit that up, and then as we were recording the Christmas songs, the juices started getting flowing, and we ended up writing some originals, and they turned out really well. Still very messy. We didn't really have much to do, or we didn't have many instruments that sounded that great at the time. And the ones that we did have that sounded good, we didn't know how to use very well at the time either. So anyway, that's also online. And it was just really fun. It was cool to just drink lots and lots of scotch and record with my best friend. And uh, yeah, it was cool. And Laycie was always so supportive of it. And yeah, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. So there you go, Lace. Um, it was good stuff. And hopefully Michael and I will touch back uh, on that project. It's kind of hard to do. He lives in Vegas. I live in Carson City, so uh, pretty far apart to do instrumentation and everything that far away from each other. But that brings me to my next thing that I just released a single for Nancy's Dead. Um, Michael has always been very good at writing parts of songs. He is really good at starting songs, not great at finishing them. So I've always given him shit. And I was going through some of his, he had like, I think 4 or 5 clips of unfinished piano pieces that he had done, and they were on SoundCloud. And over time, he had either lost the phone that had all of his login information for it and stuff. Regardless, he cannot get to those files anymore. So these random unfinished, beautiful pieces of piano are just chilling on SoundCloud. And so I decided to go and snag one of them and chop it up. And I mean, he was basically just riffing, none of it was like written down. He was just kind of soloing and jamming by himself. I think he used his phone. When I have him on the show, we'll talk more about it. But anyway, chopped it up, ended up adding some sound effects and bass line and some synthesizer, little crazy kind of techno beat at the end. You can find that on Bandcamp. So nancysdead.bandcamp.com. I'm actually really proud of it. It's not for everybody. It's definitely kind of chaotic, but that was sort of the point. But anyway, it was pretty cool to uh, work with a younger Michael, if you will, a Michael from the past, while I'm waiting for him to get his fucking act together, which he is right now, actually. He got off his ass and he started recording a really cool, kind of dancey, funky, 80s driven Cure sounding kind of thing. And so look out for that. He's getting going. So I'll put the link in once he posts it. Uh, Always support your fellow artist. Um, anyway, so that single is, as I said, very much available. And I think I mentioned in the first video, you can listen to everything for free on Bandcamp. It does give you the option and to pay. You don't have to. And I figured with how little people listen to my music anyway, as it is when it's free, what would make them want to pay money for it before they even heard it? So I made it optional. Makes sense. But if you want to put some money in, that'd be cool. I'm not against it. Anyway, so that single's out, and I did another random ass single. I was inspired by this really silly behind the scenes photo uh, of Creed Bratton from The Office, and he's just got his sunglasses on, and he's kind of like looking all cool. It's right after he got made manager, and for that one episode. And I just found it really funny. It looked kind of gangster. And so I wrote a song for it and put some clips of him speaking his genius gibberish. And so that one turned out pretty cool. It's not going to be on any album. It's just a single, just like the one with Michael. But uh, it's fun. Just keeps the juices flowing and gives you guys something to listen to that is a little easier to digest than going, oh my God, I got to listen to a full album right now to get the whole idea. But hopefully, what I'm hoping is that these singles will spark an interest. It's something that's kind of easier to listen to, and and then someone might go, "Well, I wonder what the rest sounds like," and I wonder what he's sounds like, what he sounds like when he's not talking about The Office or uh, grabbing some random, really terribly recorded piano piece from, you know, 2012, whenever that was. Um, so that brings me right smack dab into please, please, please. If you're if you're in college taking classes, if you're a reader, if you like working out to music that's not necessarily poppy, I don't know. If you're looking for something that's kind of meditative or whatever, my full length I'm very proud of. And so Reasonable Magician is on the Bandcamp website. So I know I mentioned that in the first one, but I will be plugging that thing like a motherfucker because it's awesome and I love it. And anyway, so I'll keep that short. But even with these singles and that album done, my brain has not stopped going, guys, like at all. It's crazy. And I can't fucking stop thinking about the next song, the next instrument I want to incorporate. Uh, Even though I know it sounds weird because they don't have lyrics, I want each song to have it's got an idea, it's got a thought process. And I'm getting a call. God damn it. That was a phone call, and sorry for that interruption. Anyway, can't remember exactly where I was. Just songwriting. Yeah. So bottom line is album number 2 is in the works already. I got 3 tracks done. Those are also on Bandcamp if you want to check them out. Very proud of these. It's kind of a different vibe than I was feeling with Reasonable Magician. So this one's a little more refined. I'm sure there will be some grimy, uh, messy, creepy stuff on this one too. But uh, overall, I want it to be a little cleaner and a little more precise. Um, Still funky, still weird, still Nancy, but um, it's a little more crystal clear. Little, it's almost like I want this one to have a good buzz on, not shit faced. You know, you can have fun with your friend that gets shit faced. That's kind of fun, but you got to be in the right mood. And then you got that one friend who just, no matter how much they drink, they always seem to be clear headed and concise and know what they're talking about. And so I want this album to be, I know this is a weird analogy, but that's kind of what I want this one to be, is still fun, still weird, but less messy. So we'll see how it goes. Good start so far. And yeah, so with I'm going to try to keep this pretty close to the length of the last episode. I think that was the perfect amount of time. So I just wanted to talk about if we're to go back to when Nancy Stead first started. Uh, I think I brought up a little bit about it in the first episode, but kind of came in with no idea what I was going to do. I just knew that I wanted it to be instrumental. So I had some riffs in my back pocket on my acoustic, and Baby Brown right here. That's my girl. We've got matching tattoos. Uh, anyway, some pretty folky stuff that I had, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I started buying some random instruments, and eventually came across a steel tongue drum, which are usually used by really, really hippie people. Nothing wrong with that. Just saying. It's very like boom, hum. And I saw it online and I was like, oh, that one's not that expensive. Okay. And I'm going to get it. So I purchased it and started messing around with it. And right away, I was just like, oh my God, I love the way this thing sounds. And everything just started falling into place after that. I was able to bust out a lot of my instruments I hadn't been using lately. I was doing a lot of vocal work with my friend Chris, which we will get to that, Christopher, I promise you. Um, Spent a good 2 years straight going back and forth recording vocals with him. He's a brilliant hip hop musician. And yeah, so we'll get there. I promise we'll get there. But I wanted to start being musical again, and I've got just countless percussion instruments and little things here and there that only fit with certain in a certain space, in a certain headspace and creative space. You just got to figure out how. But yeah, so I didn't know how many songs it was going to be. I just started with the first track, which I didn't have a title for or anything like that. And it just felt really good, really, really good to almost start making sounds that were crystal clear. I got this microphone. I just got a good setup, new computer and everything like that. And so it was a fresh start. It was really nice. And I've always loved soundtracks, no matter whether it's, Blade Runner to Into the Wild. It's so important. I'm such a cinephile as it is, and a musician as well. So the music is so important. And I've always been jealous of people that have the means to record something like that. So I finally realized, well, you've got all these eclectic instruments and stuff. Just give it a try. Like, you've got a good ear, you know what you're doing, what you want to sound like. So just do it, hit record. And so I did. And 3 tracks came out of me, uh, which was perfect because eventually I was like, okay, well, these tracks have to have titles. What are they going to be? And Big Fish popped in my head. Brilliant film and wonderful soundtrack, obviously, but uh, I thought of that amazing, terrible poem that Northern Winslow writes, and Steve Buscemi, his character, writes, and I was like, oh, there's 3 lines, there's 3 tracks, perfect. So, first track, the grass so green. Second track, skies so blue. Third track, Spectre is really great, and that was that. And as far as the album or the EP title is, it's named Northern fucking Winslow because it's kind of a play on poking fun at Lana Del Rey. She had just come out with a really good album, Norman fucking Rockwell. So I was like, well, Northern fucking Winslow. There we go. And it's silly, it's stupid, but I love it, and hope you guys do too. It's very different from what I've morphed into with Reasonable Musician, but makes sense. I mean, there was, you know, 3 years in between that first EP and when I got back to it. So makes sense that it would sound different, but it still has elements that are similar. That it's definitely easier to digest. It's not as electronic and out there. It's just uh, you kind of feel like you're in a mystical, folky valley of some sort. You feel like you're in Spectre. So it's got some fantasy feeling to it. It's pretty cool. And it is also available. There's a clip, the clip that you heard in the beginning of the video, that's actually from that EP. So if you want to give it a try, that'd be really cool. And I would appreciate it. But yeah, let's see. What else do I got here? I'm trying to see what comes later and what I should bring up now. Uh, Seems like we're probably nearing. Yeah, we're nearing about there, and I keep getting hit up by my friends. Love you guys, but Jesus Christ, I haven't gotten anything from you all day. And then I hit record on this, and there we go. So yeah, I guess the main thing is more to come. In the meantime, luckily, I have a lot of material that you can go listen to right now, and uh, as this podcast continues to move forward in this random directionless direction, uh, get some more ideas on what to speak of and uh, how I can bring someone on that doesn't live here, and we'll figure that part out too. But yeah, this is fun. This is weird, and you guys are very very cool for all the feedback I've received for the first episode, and hopefully we'll receive for this one. This one's a little more jumbled, but that was to be expected. And yeah, so share it if you like. I know that podcasts are extremely popular right now, and if you got a musician friend, or I don't know, people that drive a lot, so they listen to this. I mean, it is the talk radio of the new millennia. So yeah, that'd be cool. And hit like and subscribe. Smash that like button, as they say. Ugh. Ugh. I don't even like how that felt coming out of my mouth. I think the next episode, I'm going to have to start talking about Saber Wolf, my buddy Chris, man. We started a musical journey a long time ago and went our separate ways musically for many, many years. And seemingly out of nowhere, we decided to team up and hit up his comfort zone, not mine at all. I've always enjoyed good hip hop, and good R&B. And he showed me this beat package from a friend of his that's just, this dude's unreal. I'm not going to spill his name yet, but we'll talk about it next episode. My journey through jumping into hip hop, and we've got more even planned out than we already have released now. So look forward to that. And yeah, thanks a lot, you guys. Until next time, Nancy nerds, stick around, and I'll see you soon.